Hi, welcome to the channel. Today is the second day of 20th chapter. That is how to stay young in spirit forever. Let's start. You have much to give. Whether you are 65 or 95 years of age, you must realize you have much to give. You can help stabilize, advise, and direct the younger generation. You can give the benefit of your knowledge, your experience, and your wisdom. You can always look ahead, for at all times you are gazing into an infinite life. You will find that you can never cease to unveil the glories and wonders of life. Try to learn something new every moment of the day, and you will find your mind will always be young. 110 years old. Some years ago, while lecturing in Bombay, India, I was introduced to a man whose friends told me was 110 years old. He had the most beautiful face I have never ever seen. He seemed transfigured by the radiance of an inner light. There was a rare beauty in his eyes. I could see he had grown old in years with gladness and with no indication that his mind had dimmed its lights. Retirement, a new venture. Be sure that your mind never retires. Your mind must be like a parachute. It's of no use at all unless it open up. Be open and receptive to new ideas. I have seen people of 65 and 70 retire. They seemed to rot away and in a few months passed on. They obviously felt that their life had come to an end, and because they thought so, it was so. Retirement can be a new venture, a new challenge, a new path, the beginning of the fulfillment of a long dream. It is inexpressibly depressing to hear someone say, "What will I do now that I am retired?" He or she is saying, in effect, "I am mentally and physically dead. My mind is bankrupt of ideas." All this is a false picture. The real truth is that you can accomplish more at 90 than you did at 60 because each day you are growing in wisdom and understanding of life and the universe through your new studies and interests. He graduated to a better job. Frank W. is an executive who lives near me. He was forced out of his job a few months ago. The company told him it was because of a new restructuring plan, but he believed his age of 65 lay behind the decision. Do you feel bitter about being the victim of discrimination? I asked him. Are you going to sue? He laughed roughly. I could, I suppose. I guess I might very well win in court, but why should I spend my time and energy that way? I haven't lost my job. The company has lost my services. He paused, then added, the way I look at it, I just got promoted from kindergarten to the first grade. How do you mean? Well, for instance, he replied, when I graduated from high school, I climbed to the next rung of the ladder by going to college. I took a step forward in my education and understanding of life in general. My career was another step, or maybe a few steps. Now I have been liberated to do things I have always wanted to do. In other words, being let go is still another step upward on the ladder of life. Frank came to the wise conclusion that he was no longer going to concentrate on making a living. Now, he was going to give all his attention to living life. He had been a passionate amateur photographer for years. He made a commitment to take courses in photographic technique at a nearby art institute. Later, he went on a voyage around the world. At each place he visited, he took dozens of rolls of film. He now lectures before various groups, lodges, and clubs, and is in constant demand. There are countless ways of taking an interest in something worthwhile outside yourself. Become enthusiastic over new creative ideas, make spiritual progress, and continue to learn and grow. In this manner, you remain young at heart because you are hungering and thirsting after new thoughts, new truths, after new truths, and your body will reflect your thinking at all times. You must be a producer and not a prisoner of society. Laws that prohibit employers from discriminating against men and women because of age are a step in the right direction, but laws alone cannot alter the way people think. Someone of 65 years may be younger mentally, physically, and psychologically than many people of 30. We are here to enjoy the fruits of our labor, to be a producer and not a prisoner of society that sentences us to idleness because of our age. A person's body slows down gradually as he or she advances through the years, but his conscious mind can be made much more active, alert, alive, and quickened by the inspiration from his or her subconscious mind. The mind in reality never grows old, Job said. Oh, that I were as in months past as the days when God preserved me. When his candle shined up my head, and when by this light I walked through darkness as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle. Job 29 verses 2 4. Secret of youth. To recapture the days of your youth, feel the miraculous healing, self renewing power of your subconscious mind moving through your whole being. Know and feel that you are inspired, lifted up, rejuvenated, revitalized, and recharged spiritually. You can bubble over with enthusiasm and joy as in the days of your youth, for the simple reason that you can always mentally and emotionally recapture that joyous state. The candle that shines upon your head is divine intelligence. It reveals to you everything you need to know. It enables you to affirm the presence of your good regardless of appearances. You walk by the guidance of your subconscious mind because you know that the dawn appears and the shadows flee. Get a vision. Instead of saying I am old, say I am wise in the way of the divine life. Don't let the corporation, newspapers, or statistics hold a picture before you of old age, declining years, decrepitude, decrepitude, senility, and uselessness. Reject it, for it is a lie. Refuse to hypnotized by such propaganda. Affirm life, not death. Get a vision of yourself a happy, radiant, successful, serene, and powerful. Your mind does not grow old. The pioneering heart surgeon Michael D. Backey developed the first roller pump for blood in 1932. His pump is still used for heart bypass surgery. At the age of 90, Dr. D. Backey got permission to start clinical trials on a new invention, a tiny pump that can be implanted in the chest of those with severe heart disease. Not content with research, D. Backey pursued an active surgical schedule as well. A colleague said it would take other people 5 or 6 lifetimes to do what he has done. D. Backey summed up the philosophy at 90 this way: as long as you have challenge and are physically and mentally able, life is stimulating and invigorating. His mind active at 99. My father learned the French language at 65 years of age and became an authority on it at 70. He began the study of Gaelic when he was over 60 and became an acknowledged and famous teacher of the subject. He assisted my sister at an institute of higher education until he passed away at 99. His mind was clear at 99 as it had been when he was 20. In fact, his reasoning powers became even sharper with age. Truly, you are as old as you think and feel. We need our senior citizens. Marcus Porcius Cato, the Roman patriot, learned Greek at 80. Madame Asatin, uh, Asatin, Schumann, Henk, the great German American contralto, reached the pinnacle of her musical success after she became a grandmother. The Greek philosopher Socrates learned to play musical instrument when he was 80 years old. Michelangelo was painting his greatest canvases at 80. At 80, Theos Simonides won the prize for poetry. John von Goethe finished first, and Leopold von Ranke commenced his history of the world, which he finished at 92. After Lord Tennyson wrote a magnificent poem, Crossing the Bar, at 83, Isaac Newton was hard at work, close to 85. At 88, John Wesley was directing, preaching, and guiding Methodism. Jean-Louis Calment of Arles, France, was not famous as these people were famous. In her youth, she once met a famous man, the painter Vincent van Gogh, but that did not bring her any particular notice. It was not until after her 100th birthday that those around her began to pay attention. For her, it was the occasion to give up riding her bicycle every day. On Clement's 110th birthday, she received greetings and good wishes from around the world. Her 118th birthday made her the oldest documented human in history. When asked how she had done it, she said, I took pleasure when I could. I acted clearly and morally and without regret. I am very lucky. At 122, your smile was radiant and contagious as ever. Let us place our senior citizens in high places and give them every opportunity to bring forth the flowers of paradise. If you are retired, get interested in the laws of life and the wonders of your subconscious mind. Do something you have always wanted to do. Study new subjects and investigate new ideas. Pray as follows. As the heart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Psalm 42, verses 1. The fruits of old days. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to days of his youth. Job 33, verses 25. Old age really means the contemplation of the truth of God from the highest standpoint. Realize that you are on an endless journey, a series of important steps in the ceaseless, tireless, endless ocean of life. Then, with the psalmist, you will say, they shall still bring forth fruit in old days. There shall be fight and flourishing. Psalm 92 verses 14. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, godness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Galatians 55 verses 22-23. You are a child of infinite life, which knows no end, and you are an heir to eternity. Profitable pointers. Patience, kindness, love, goodwill, joy, happiness, wisdom, and understanding are qualities that never grow old. Cultivate them and express them and remain young in mind and body. The neurotic fear of the effects of time may well be the cause of premature aging. Age is not the flight of years, it is the turn of wisdom in the mind of humans. The most productive years of your life can be from 65 to 95. Welcome the advancing years. It means you are moving higher on the path of life, which has no end. God is life, and that is your life now. Life is self renewing, eternal, and indestructible, and is the reality of all humans. You live forever because your life is God's life. You cannot see your mind, but you know you have a mind. You cannot see spirit, but you know that there is spirit of the game, the spirit of the artist, the spirit of the musician, and the spirit of the speaker is real. Likewise, the spirit of goodness, truth, and beauty moving in your mind and heart are real. You cannot see life, but you know you are alive. Old is old is may be called the contemplation of the truths of God from the highest standpoint. The joy, the joys of old age are greater than those of youth. Your mind is engaged in spiritual and mental athletics. Nature slows your body so that you may have the opportunity to meditate on things divine. We do not count a man's years until he has nothing else to count. Your faith and convictions are not subject to decay. You are as young as you think you are. You are as strong as you think you are. You are as useful as you think you are. You are as young as your thoughts. Your gray hairs are an asset. You are not selling your gray hairs, you are selling your talent, abilities, and wisdom that have garnered through the years. Fad diets and expensive pills won't keep you young. As a man thinketh, so is he. Fear of old age can bring about physical and mental deterioration. The thing I greatly featured has come upon me. You grow old when you cease to dream and when you lose interest in life. You grow old if you are irritable, crusty, petulant, and cantankerous. Fill your mind with the truths of God and radiate the sunshine of His love. This is youth. Look ahead, for at all times you are gazing into infinite life. Your retirement is a new venture. Take up new studies and interests. You can do the things you always wanted to do when you were so busy making a living. Give your attention to living life. Become a producer and not a prisoner of society. Don't hide your light under the bushel. The secret of youth is love, joy, inner peace, and laughter. In God, there is fullness of joy. In God, there is no darkness at all. You are needed. Some of the great philosophers, artists, scientists, writers, and others accomplished their greatest work after they were 80 years old. The fruits of old age are love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. You are a child of the infinite life that knows no end. You are an heir to eternity. Okay, and that's the end of the 20th chapter and also end of the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Okay, we will start new week and on the next session. And you can also visit our blog www.audiobookdeveloper.blogspot.com where you can find the books The Magic of Thinking Big and the 100 Startup also, the chapter wise, day wise. Thanks for being with us. You can try, give 15 to 20 minutes per day and change your life. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much.